It's time to work it on a Wednesday. We've got makeup artist and extraordinaire, Miss Katie Cotton. And we're talking about SPFs and makeup and why you need sunscreen when you have makeup on. Katie, this is important. It's summertime.
Well, a lot of people think of sunscreening their body, but
Right.
they don't necessarily think of their face. So they only think of their face one time where they remember to reapply on their body.
Because you see your chest getting red, so you're like,
red, so you redo, or you're afraid to, like, what do you do for sunscreen on your face if you do have makeup on? It's easy when you're at the pool or at the beach and you went out sans makeup, so your reapplication's a little bit easier. First of all, it's very important to understand sunscreen a little bit, and I don't want to talk forever about it because some people already know, or you can look it up.
Right.
But there are two forms of UV rays. There's UVA, there's UVB. UVB causes sunburn and also cancer.
Oh, okay.
UVA is what tans you, but also causes wrinkles and aging and sunspots. And the shortest of those rays can also cause sunburn.
Okay.
So basically, you need to protect both.
Right.
So if you look for the terms broad spectrum, you're good. So that's the main thing to look for.
That's a good point.
That's what that's for. Broad
like
spectrum means that it's going to cover the UVA as well as the UVB rays.
Okay.
So that's important. The other things to know is the level of SPF that you should do. So SPF, the number behind SPF, is basically means how much longer you can be in the sun before you would get sunburn. So it's not by minutes, it's by length of time. So SPF 30 would be 30 times longer in the sun. Now the problem with that is a lot of people go, great, I'm just going to use 100 and be able to stay out in the sun all day. But nothing blocks the UV rays completely. So a lot of times when people use that really, really high SPF, they don't reapply because they think that that means that they're good for a longer amount of time. And that's not actually accurate. So the Skin Cancer Foundation does say that you should use an SPF at least of 30. And a lot of people think their makeup's going to hold them.
Right.
Makeup often doesn't have up to 30. It usually only has 15 or 20, maybe 25. But they think that would be good enough, and it's not good enough. But also you need to reapply it every 2 hours, and then also after being in water, or swimming, anything like that. Immediately after, if that's the case. So that's where it gets really tricky with makeup, because if you did have makeup on, how do you reapply? So I have a few things to go over with sunscreens that are good for that.
Okay, perfect.
And there are mineral-based sunscreens, there are regular sunscreens. A lot of people have different reactions to sunscreens. The skin on your face is a lot more sensitive. So a lot of times you want a sunscreen that is made for your face, not the same as your body. So a couple of ones that I like. Now, Obagi makes one that is a skincare brand. So this is an SPF of 50. It is pretty thick. If you don't like a thick sunscreen, I would not suggest this one. Plus, it's going to be on the pricier end.
Okay.
One of the other ones that I really, really have loved lately is this one by Kinship. It is a probiotic moisturizing sunscreen, and it is zinc oxide based. But when I think of zinc oxide, I think of the 80s with like the white noses.
Right, yes.
And this one actually, it has a lovely rose scent. It's actually really, really thin. Like you can see how quickly it's blending out from my finger. It absorbs very, very quickly. And it did won the Allure Beauty Award in 2021.
Okay.
So this is a really, really great one, and you can pick it up at Ulta, places like that, and I think it's only like 26 bucks. So it's not super expensive, but it's not going to be your cheapest of cheap. Another one that I love lately is this one by Supergoop. So this Supergoop one has an SPF of 40, but get a load of this. It's called the Unseen Sunscreen. It's
gosh, it's clear,
It's
y'all.
absolutely clear, and it actually is also labeled to work as a makeup primer. So it feels like a primer. It will absorb into your skin like a primer, and it will help your makeup adhere. All three of these, however, are still going to be tough for you to reapply.
Okay.
You can use the makeup primer-ish one by itself, and it works great. And it does absorb very, very quickly. But the ways that I like to touch up my makeup, for starters, Coola as well as Supergoop makes a makeup setting spray.
Okay.
Now this one is SPF, I can't remember. This one is SPF of 30. It is water and sweat resistant. It's got a little shaker bead in it, which is going to really, really mix it up. You do that to set your makeup, but of course you could reapply it on top of your face at any time, which is really, really great. And Supergoop makes one too. In fact, Supergoop makes a little travel one. So as you said, you like to put it down in your pool bag. This is a great thing to always have in your pool bag for reapplying. So that's a great, great thing. Sunbum does make a facial one as well. So this Sunbum is just a face mist. It's not set to be a setting spray, but it is one that is made for your face, which would really still make reapplying really easy because it is a nice light mist, and this is like 15 bucks. So if you don't want to spend the money that you would spend on Coola or Supergoop, that is a good one. And last but not least, as far as touching up goes, a couple of companies, this one's Color Science. They make quite a few different shades. Supergoop makes one too, but it is like a sunscreen powder that has a little bit of color in it with a little brush that you can just brush on, and that's going to touch up your makeup if you're getting oily or shiny. So that is a great
love that.
option.
That's really smart.
There is some makeup that does have SPF in it. This one is, I was actually going to save this to talk about like a drugstore find, but I couldn't leave it out of this one. I've been using this lately and I do really like it. As far as e.l.f. goes, it's one of their pricier products. It's like $15.
Right, because you're
when
normally
I think
like
of e.l.f.,
$7.
I think of things that are a lot cheaper. So this does have a broad spectrum SPF of 30, and it is it's labeled as a CC cream, but it does have a lot of coverage to it. So it is more than a tinted lotion, not even really less than a foundation. I think it has the pigmentation of a foundation, but it does have a more full coverage, but it still feels very lotiony. So that's if you're gonna do actual makeup with it. And the one other thing two other things I want to point out is don't forget your lips.
30 seconds.
Yeah, don't forget your lips. So you just want to get like a lip balm that has an SPF in it, and this Aquaphor one does. But the other thing that I've recently discovered is by Coola, and it is a scalp and hair mist.
Oh, because right there, guys. How many times have you got burnt?
That you get burnt on the top of your head, and I hate putting actual sunscreen in my hair because I always feel that then it gets greasy and gross. And I've actually used the makeup setting spray there before, but this one by Coola is literally made for your scalp. And it like has a lovely beachy scent and all that. So I didn't want to not mention that because that's my new find.
Love that. I will take a picture of all of these and put them on our Facebook page so you can see them. Great job, Katie Cotton. I love it so much.